Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another MetaZoo video. Today we're not going to be busting open packs or anything like that. Instead, we're going to be just sitting down and talking about if you are thinking about getting into collecting MetaZoo, or maybe you're brand new to collecting MetaZoo and you're a little overwhelmed because there is quite a bit of product out there and sets from MetaZoo. I'm going to talk you through everything that you need to know, whether or not you're jumping in for the first time or you're just dipping your toes and you're curious about what sets you should focus on if you're just a collector, or if you also plan on collecting and playing, or just playing. We're going to go through each of the sets that MetaZoo has come out with, all the different types of product that you can get. This is going to be an unscripted, unedited, sort of just sit down and talk, no flashy editing going on here. It's I'm just going to talk to you guys and let you know, but the thing that sets me apart, I guess, from making a video like this is that I also just jumped into collecting MetaZoo not that long ago. So I actually got into it in around September, end of September 2022. So I am still pretty brand new as well to getting into collecting MetaZoo, even though I will tell you I've gotten quite a bit into collecting MetaZoo. If you check my channel here, you'll see that. But I can offer you a perspective that is from somebody that is having to experience this themselves for the first time, jumping in when there's already a bunch of sets out, and where do you even begin? So first of all, this video is really being done for a few of my Twitch viewers and people in my Discord that are interested in getting into, well, I shouldn't say a few, quite a bit of you actually have introduced to MetaZoo, and a lot of you have been asking me, where do I begin? What is this product versus this product? So we're going to go over that here today. So what do you say we get started? I've got a bunch of sample stuff here off to the side. I'm not going to show every set, so just pretty much like we're going to go over the basics here that can be applied in general to every set from MetaZoo. So first of all, the obvious, right? We have booster boxes. Now this is a Cryptid Nation booster box. This is where it all began. Well, actually, it began in Kickstarter, but I'm going to let you guys know, unless you're an extreme collector, you're not going to want to worry about the Kickstarter stuff because that can get extremely expensive. You're looking at bare minimum $50 for a full holo card that comes from the Kickstarter set, but they are extremely rare. Kickstarter stuff is a premium. Collectors just love getting them graded and adding them to their collection, but it's, the humble beginnings of MetaZoo. Not a lot of people knew about it or wanted to really risk getting into it because they weren't sure where it was going to go. Kickstarter is where it all began. You will pay a premium for that. We're also going to get into where you can kind of look to buy MetaZoo stuff, but for now, let's focus on the products. So where do you want to start? You want to start with Cryptid Nation if you're brand new to MetaZoo. Why? Because this set is really fun to open and collect. There's a lot of staple cards in here. You got the Bigfoots, you got the Mothmans, you got the Hodags, you've got everything in here. It's a little bit of, all the popular fun cryptids that you may well know yourself. But here's the thing. There are two versions of this. There's first edition, there's second edition. First edition here is, this is more of a collector's thing. So obviously this is the first product that they released after Kickstarter. And this does command a bit of a premium because it's a bit more of a collector's item. There weren't as many of these printed as the second edition. So you only want to buy first edition stuff from Cryptid Nation if you are a collector. So if you are distinguishing yourself as somebody that might get into playing and collecting, okay, first edition might be for you. If you are strictly playing, you want to avoid first edition entirely because it will get more expensive. And if you're a collector, this is where it comes down to what's your budget, because first edition for a booster box these days, as I'm making this video, will run you about $400, depending on where you're looking in the secondary market for an entire booster box. There are other products that we are going to get into. You don't have to just straight up buy a booster box. So there are more affordable ways to get into first edition product. But I think if you are just getting into MetaZoo, whether you're a collector or a player, the best place to start is second edition Cryptid Nation. You're going to get 36 booster packs, and it's going to cost you the bare minimum. Right now, and it's not just MetaZoo, a lot of product is very cheap for the trading card game market. So now's the time. This is the perfect time to get into MetaZoo because a lot of stuff is really affordable. And, I'm going to get to how I got into it, but it was because of the prices that I decided to get into MetaZoo now or recently. So for a second edition booster box, instead of $400, you're looking at about $50, $50 to $60. Now, as this sealed product starts to dry up, say a year from now, once the MetaZoo IP starts to develop a bit, we got the online game coming out for mobile. We've got the the shorts, the animated shorts coming out. We got the book coming out. Once MetaZoo starts picking up steam for the IP, you're going to see a lot of this old backlog of sealed products start drying up. So right now is the perfect time to be buying second edition, because there won't be sealed second edition forever. And they're not going to do a third printing of it. I believe Mike has already said this. So now's the time, great time. And now let's go over, besides the booster box, which I feel like if you're just getting in the MetaZoo, second edition booster box is the way to go. But there are other alternatives. So what's the next thing that they have and you might be a little unsure about? You have the Spellbook. Spellbooks will come with 10 booster packs, as well as a coin. And you got a rule book in there, which for the Cryptid Nation stuff might be a little outdated at this point. And you've got some other tokens and things in there to get you started. This is more for if you are planning on playing. It's got a lot of things in there that you will want if you are going to play the game. Me personally, as of right now, I am strictly a collector, but I would love to learn how to play. I'm kind of waiting until the online trading card version comes out, like the online trading card game, MetaZoo Online Games, whatever the official name is going to be. But for now, I'm mostly collecting. Now, the good thing about Spellbooks, they are very cheap. For second edition Spellbooks, you can get these under $20 right now. And for 10 packs, that's not bad, plus the other little goodies that you get in here. Now, depending on the set, sometimes the pull rate for full hollows can be a little worse than, say, getting a booster box. But if you're just concerned about opening the cards, checking them out, getting a Spellbook is a nice little way to go about it. So it's sort of like a third or a fourth of a booster box. It's a lot cheaper. And if you're sort of unsure if you want a giant stack of cards laying around from a booster box, a Spellbook is by far the best way that I would recommend that you test MetaZoo out. Maybe you want to play a little bit. You got the rule book in there. For the most part, it will be mostly, you'll be able to play with it, even though the older ones are a little outdated. But it's very easy to pick up a new set with the new rule book. So Spellbooks, I do recommend them. But once again, if you are mainly going to be collecting, for Cryptid Nation, I would recommend the booster boxes, because you're probably going to get some good hits out of there, and the Spellbooks can be a little bit more iffy. Okay, next we have release event boxes. So these are, as you would imagine, boxes that are released for when a new set comes out. These are sort of like little sampler boxes in a way, where it will come with 3 packs, and this applies for all Spellbooks booster boxes. So every Spellbook will be 10 packs. It's essentially the same thing, just for a different set. Every release event box will be the same between sets. As of right now, as of making this video, you will always get 3 booster packs inside of a release event box, and it will come with a hollow promotional card that is from a subset of cards that you can only get in a release event box. So from Cryptid Nation, you can get cards like Gasienthia, which is a really cool looking dragon card, and if you buy the first edition of that card can be worth 30-40 bucks. But I would still, once again, recommend the second edition. Second edition release event boxes, 10 to 15 bucks, around that price range. And it's sort of like, hey, maybe you want to get a friend in the MetaZoo. These are the perfect things to pick up if you're like, hey, check this game out. Here's like a sample of some of the packs. You get a little, let's just say they don't pull a full hollow. You're definitely going to get a full hollow in here because of the promotional card that's included. And these are just a nice little way to flesh out your collection and, build it up. So yeah, they're just, think of it as like a little sampler. It's like a third of a Spellbook without all the extra stuff inside of it and some exclusive hollows. Okay, then we also have structured pre-constructed decks. So these, you will typically see 5 of these come out for every new set release, and each one has a pre-constructed deck in it. There are some exclusive cards. You will get whatever is on the cover here. You will get a hollow of that cryptid. So in this case, it is the, that is a little hard to read. The Pakwudo Chieftain. Sorry, it's very hard for me to read that. So you'll get his deck inside of here. You'll get his foil card. You also get a booster pack inside of here. So you get a little bit of fun value, and I think it also comes with a coin. Yes, you get a metallic coin. So you're probably like, wait, what are these coins? You can actually hear it rattling around inside of there. The coins right now are just collectible. However, it has been said, and we still don't know exactly how this is going to pan out, that all these coins that you're collecting with your merchandise, your product that you're picking up, like Spellbooks and such, and blister packs, which we'll get to here in a moment, should be usable in some way. I'm not going to get into speculating here as to what that may be, but the rumors have been, this is just on what I've heard, not my own speculation, that you should be able to take these coins and eventually there will be sort of like coin machines or ways to trade these coins in, say at like conventions, where say you have a certain amount of Kickstarter coins or blister pack coins, you can trade these coins in towards something else. Really cool idea. How this is going to be implemented, we don't know yet, but save your coins. They're actually going to have some really cool value in the future. And I really feel that once it is revealed how we are going to use these coins to get like whatever we're going to get for trading them in, you're going to see the value of coins start really ramping up, right? All these blister packs, another product that come with coins that might be a little tougher to get. Hold on to them. Don't underestimate the coins. And they're actually really nice. They're usually got cool little designs on there, typically of the cryptids that come with the product that you have picked up. So yeah, structured decks, definitely more of a player's product than a collector's product. But I will say that we're going to get into like the secret inserts and stuff, but sometimes structured decks can also come with secret rares and serialized cards. So there is kind of a nice little reason to pick up these structured decks. And sometimes the holo that comes inside of these structured decks can also be worth the entirety of the structured deck. Some of them are actually worth quite a bit of money. All right, so there's the structures, the pre-constructed decks. And then last but not least, for like the main product line, are blister packs. So blister packs in MetaZoo will come with one booster pack. It will come with a coin. In this case, this is the second edition blister pack for Cryptid Nation with the Mothman promo. So it will always come with a holo promo card on the front and a blister pack and a pack of cards inside. So this is the kind of thing that you will typically see sold in, say, hopefully eventually like Targets and Walmarts. I think for the upcoming sets, you will start seeing stuff like this in there. And there's one more product which I don't currently have to show you guys, but I will talk about it. But blister packs, really fun way to just open up a pack of cards. And the thing is, in the more recent sets, blister packs such as Seance, I'm going to get to Seance, but you will sometimes find a slightly more seemingly heavily weighted serialized cards being opened from blister packs. Yours truly has pulled a serialized super rare card from a blister pack. So yeah, if you're a coin collector, if you want the promos in here, I always think you should at least, typically every new set will come with a couple of different blister packs of promo cards. I think you should at least pick up the full art set of these blisters to get the promos that come inside. Just really fun to open a blister. And then lastly, I don't have something here to show you, but they are hanger boxes that you would find in, say, Walmart, where it will come with, I think it's like 3 packs of cards and a promo card. Now, typically, people are a little scared of these hanger boxes that you find in Targets, Walmarts, Walgreens, because they're typically like third-party products. But in the case of MetaZoo, they are officially put out by MetaZoo. So if you're buying a UFO or Cryptid Nation hanger box in Walmart, and they're generally quite affordable, it's like, I think, $20. And you get a promo card, random promo card inside, plus 3 blister packs. It's quite nice. You're typically going to, probably pull at least one full holo. And one of the ones from Walmart actually comes with, I think it's the UFO one, comes with some decent stuff. Or is it the Cryptid Nation one? Whichever one has the Pamela card, I actually picked that up as a single. That's like a $20 card. So if you're lucky enough to pick up one of these blister boxes and pull the Pamela, you can get some great stuff from those. I personally don't really buy them. But if you're brand new to MetaZoo, stop by Walmart, see if they have them. It's a nice little fun way to get into it. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is there is a Topps line of MetaZoo cards as well. You can see these here, and you can see a box behind me there of Wilderness. I just wanted to mention these to caution you that buying these on the secondary market is extremely cautionary, because these can be weighed. There are methods. I'm not going to get into it and all that jazz, but there are ways that you can figure out which of these have the hit cards inside of it. So that means if you're buying these on secondary, you don't plan on getting any of the cards that are like 100 printed, like $100+ cards. There are still parallel cards in every one of these, so you are going to get a foil card, but all the big hit stuff, typically if the seller knows what they're doing, you're not going to get any of them. However, Topps cards are actually super nice. The card quality is amazing. The gloss on them looks great. They just look super good. So I would still encourage you, if you're a fan of Topps Styles cards, just really nice artwork, to pick up a box or 2 of these. They're really nice and cheap. And when the new Topps set comes out for Seance, or whatever the new Topps set is going to be, I don't know if it's exclusively Seance, I think it's just going to be a new set. That's going to be really good because they're going to have a new foiling type. I'd hope that by now they will have it so that you can not have to worry about the hit cards being mappable or weighable or whatever the heck is going on. So yeah, that's the last thing that I wanted to mention. So that's it for the base product, like the main product. There's a lot of other stuff out there at MetaZoo, but you don't want to get overwhelmed, right? for now, just stick to the basics. There's a lot of collaborations with MetaZoo, and we'll get towards that more towards the end of the video. But there's a lot going on within the world of MetaZoo, which is great, right? It's nice to diversify. There's always something out there for everybody. There's so much out there for MetaZoo that makes it so much fun to collect. So now that you have the basic foundation on what product types are like in MetaZoo, next it's time to decide what are you looking to get out of MetaZoo. If you are strictly looking to collect, then you're probably going to want to move on to something a bit more past Cryptid Nation 2. Cryptid Nation 2 is a nice way to dip your toes in, see how you like the product line. Then you're going to want to move on to first edition. And you're probably like, okay, so where do I start buying first edition product for Cryptid Nation? Your best choice is probably eBay. Now, eBay will typically have the most up-to-date market prices. If you just check sold listings, you'll see what people are paying. And generally, for the most part, MetaZoo cards, unless you're looking at Kickstarter, there's no counterfeit stuff out there. So whatever you're buying from, as long as it's a trusted seller, you should be 100% good to go. And then you have tcgplayer.com, which will also sell a lot of MetaZoo product. If you go to tcgplayer.com, they have a MetaZoo section. You can check that. They will sell sealed product there. They'll sell singles, and it'll tell you the market price. Don't trust the market price entirely on tcgplayer.com. eBay, I think, is a bit more of a more accurate way to check sold listings for more up-to-date market pricing. And then you also have partner stores. Now, I tried Googling before I made this video for a list of MetaZoo online partner stores or anything like that. I couldn't find one. There might be one in the Discord, but I personally couldn't find a link that I can send you guys to. But there are tons of online partner stores, meaning online retailers or even in-person retailers. If you go to the MetaZoo Games website, there is a place where you can look up people that carry MetaZoo by you locally, which should always be your first choice. Support your local game store, especially if they carry MetaZoo, because for a lot of people, like in my case, there is nobody around me that carries MetaZoo. I hope to change that in the future because I do attend conventions where I sell video games, and I would like to start bringing my MetaZoo bulk or some of my cheaper product and just handing it out to people, handing it out to kids, handing it out to people that might seem like they're in the trading card games. Just give it out. Get people interested in MetaZoo within my local area and hope to spread it, hopefully, to some of the local game stores that pick it up. That's my plan for MetaZoo. But for you, if you don't have conventions where you have the ability to, like, hopefully maybe spread it to your local game stores, go to the official Discord. The MetaZoo Discord will have a section in there where you can just meet other collectors. You cannot talk about market pricing on the secondary market within the Discord, but within that Discord, you can find partner stores and online stores. I'm not going to play any favorites here and just point out like one or two of them. Just do your research in the Discord or Googling, and you will find plenty of online retailers that have their own little bundles and deals. So typically when a new set comes out, they will offer, like, maybe they have an exclusive promo to go with their bundle of, say, Native that's coming out or War that will be coming out. Playmats that they might have exclusively, little incentives to get you to buy from them. And it's always much better to buy from a local game store partner or a online MetaZoo partner because you are supporting them directly. They are the lifeblood of keeping MetaZoo alive. Without them, we wouldn't really have MetaZoo, right? So even if you got to pay a little bit extra, it's better than just waltzing into, or not waltzing into, but it's better than just buying from, say, TCG Player, which might just be sellers that are offloading stock from MetaZoo because they don't plan on carrying it anymore. So yes, you might be able to get stuff a little cheaper on TCG Player, but if you're looking at the larger grand scheme of things and you want MetaZoo to thrive and continue to grow, spending a little bit extra from a partner store is always encouraged. Okay, so yeah, after you've made up your mind that, okay, MetaZoo is for you, what are the other sets out there? After Cryptid Nation came Wilderness. Wilderness was a big hit when it first came out. It is very popular among the MetaZoo community, also because not only did it have amazing beasties inside of it, cryptids beasties is what they call them in MetaZoo, but it has really, really rare, secret rare cards inserted into the product, and they are extremely rare. But in every Wilderness product, including booster boxes, including release event boxes, blister packs, theme decks, everything, you can pull secret rare cards. Now, there are 100 printed of a card called Green Man. This is a card worth like at least $1,000 on the secondary market, and you can pull that from anything. It's been pulled. There's actually a website called MetaZooSR.com, I believe is the name of it, where they keep track of where all these secret rares have been pulled from. So I would encourage you to check out MetaZooSR.com. as well as MetaZooHQ.com, two websites that are amazing resources for MetaZoo news and information. And then also up and coming, I do want to give a shout out to MetaZoo Archives, another website that is sort of taking up the reins. MetaZoo HQ has calmed down a little bit recently when it comes to staying up to date with news and new information on product. MetaZoo Archives is seemingly probably going to be the premier news website for MetaZoo going forward, run by some great people from the community, so definitely check them out as well. But you can pull this card called Green Man, and that's dispersed throughout everything. And then you also have these ticket cards, the bronze, silver, and gold tickets, which can be redeemed for various things up to a Kickstarter, sealed Kickstarter box of MetaZoo if you are to pull a gold ticket, and some of these have been pulled. They're extremely hard to pull, but they can be pulled, and some people have pulled them within the community. You can see videos and pictures online, and that's what keeps Wilderness really exciting to open, because there's just the chance that you might actually open one of these extremely rare chase cards. The nice thing about Wilderness right now in today's market is that it is very affordable. The release event boxes are extremely cheap, typically. Spellbooks under 20 bucks, booster boxes $50 to $60. It's around the par price of Cryptid Nation. But Wilderness, really fun to open up. Cryptid Nation, I forgot to mention this for Cryptid Nation 2nd edition. Mothman is probably the biggest hit card you're looking for from like actual packs. You are looking at about 20 bucks for that card right now for the full holo. But in the box topper for Cryptid Nation, in 1st and 2nd edition, there are cards called Red Ink and Blue Ink. Red Ink comes from 1st edition, Blue Ink comes from 2nd edition. Those are in the box topper pack that comes in every booster box, and those are really rare, very expensive. Another fun reason to buy booster boxes that I forgot to mention for Cryptid Nation. Okay, so Wilderness gets a high recommendation from me. Sorry, I did this completely out of order. It was not Wilderness. See, still, I'm not an expert on MetaZoo, despite being super into it. I forgot that Nightfall was the 2nd set. I know I'm going to get crucified by the MetaZoo fans out there, but bear with me here. Wilderness was the 2nd set. However, I guess you could argue that if you're new to MetaZoo, going from Cryptid Nation to Wilderness is actually a good step, because Nightfall, which was the 2nd set, how can we forget Nightfall, is a lot of people's favorite set from MetaZoo. But the thing is, if you're new, it can be a little bit more pricey. For a booster box at the moment, you're looking at about a minimum of $120. So that's a bit of a steep price increase. You're looking at the price of 2 booster boxes from, say, Wilderness or Cryptid Nation, 2nd edition. But Nightfall has a really cool, darker theme to it. You're looking at being able to pull stuff like Wendigo and Mothman, 2 fan favorites, among other more darker in-tone MetaZoo cards. But Nightfall tends to be a lot of people's favorite set in all of MetaZoo at the moment, and the prices definitely show and command that. It used to actually be way more expensive, but due to today's market in trading card games, it has come down quite a bit. So if you do plan on buying, I would encourage you to do it before MetaZoo blows up later in the year, which it will, trust me. That's a whole nother video we can talk about. So Nightfall, it's a bit more of a wait until you're definitely like knee deep in MetaZoo before you get into it, and then you can go waist or shoulder deep getting into Nightfall because of the prices. But picking up, say, a Spellbook or a release event deck, those are nice and cheap, they're like 15 bucks, is a great way to dip your toes into Nightfall. And maybe I pulled a full holo Wendigo from a release event deck for Nightfall. Maybe you can too. So Nightfall, amazing set. So we had Cryptid Nation, we had Nightfall, we had Wilderness, and then we move on to UFO, which is where I got into MetaZoo. So I originally got into MetaZoo because I had noticed that UFO prices had gotten really affordable, and I had known about MetaZoo since Cryptid Nation 1st edition had come out. But at the time I was a little hesitant because prices were a little pricey, and I was like, let's just wait and see what happens. And then Nightfall happened, and it was still very pricey, and I'm like, okay, this is a little too much for me to get into. But by the time UFO came out, I was ready to re-look into MetaZoo. And I really like the card art on UFO and the holos, and just everything about the card quality had seemed to be super impressive. So I'm like, all right, let's try MetaZoo. I picked up UFO booster box. It was like 50 bucks. And I opened it up on my Twitch stream, and I had so much fun, and my viewers loved it. And this is where we got our first introduction from my community into MetaZoo. And I was just blown away. I was hooked. The nice thing about UFO booster boxes, they are still cheap, about the same price as all the others, maybe a little bit cheaper. Booster boxes are full holo heavy. So one thing that you'll notice if you wait a little bit before you open UFO, you've opened some other stuff, you're going to notice that about half your box, probably half, a little bit more, a little bit less, will have full hollows. UFO booster boxes are almost entirely full hollows. It was heavily weighted towards full hollows. So the fun thing for me, and because of this, it's actually one of my favorite sets to collect. The reverse hollows, which typically don't have quite as much value as a full hollow, actually hold quite a bit of value in UFO. So when you're opening a booster box and you're getting a reverse hollow, it can be worth $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 for some of the good reverse hollows. But if you're brand new to the game and you want to collect or play, just opening a booster box and just seeing just a giant handful of these really good looking full hollows can be super fun. And there's some great cards in there, like Flatwood Monster, Mini T-Rex, you got Men in Black in there. There's some great stuff. And then, of course, you've got the same product that we talked about before, but the one that I'd recommend to you the most if you're into collecting are the UFO Spellbooks, because those tend to be a bit more heavily weighted towards reverse hollows. I've actually opened a ton of those to fill up my UFO collection, so I was able to build up my reverse hollow collection quite a bit by opening Spellbooks. I opened a couple booster boxes, got pretty much all the full hollows I needed, and then the rest of the full hollows that I needed I pulled from Spellbooks, and got a ton of reverse hollows. UFO, highly recommend it. If you're into the sort of like sci-fi aliens theme, UFO will definitely be for you. And the holofoil in UFO started getting really good looking. Like they definitely changed how the UFO foil looks in that set compared to others, and it's nice and bright and glossy. Speaking of holofoil, something really neat, if you're new, you might not have realized this. All the foil cards in MetaZoo will actually have like little logos and like icons in the foil. So for UFO, you'll have like little UFOs or meteorites, and in Wilderness, you'll have like leaves and stuff like that. And Nightfall, you'll have spider webs in the foil itself. Just a neat little tidbit there. The other thing that I forgot to mention about Nightfall, I did move on before forgetting to mention the secret rare, which is an Old Scratch. Old Scratch is the chase card. There are only 100 made. They're quite rare. But the thing about Nightfall, there are God packs where there's a very, very, very small chance you'll open up a pack that's pretty much all full hollows. And Mike has confirmed this. I heard it in an interview. If you open up a God pack, there is a 1 in 10 chance of pulling Old Scratch, which is a multiple $1,000 card. Like that card is like $2,000 at least, I'd imagine, in good condition. So there's always a nice little chase in some of the later sets. And in UFO, there are serialized cards. Serialized cards in UFO, actually not all of them have been pulled yet. They're probably mostly in product that not a lot of people are opening, like say release event decks or theme deck packs and stuff. So there are still super rare serialized cards out there. And the cool thing about the serialized cards in UFO is that they have alternate artwork compared to the normal artwork. And they are numbered to 10. Yes, they are numbered to 10. So quite rare to pull one of those from UFO. So then we move on to Seance, which just recently released. And the one thing that you need to know about Seance, and we need to talk about this, it is an elephant in the room, and I think if you are new to MetaZoo, you deserve to know this, and it is very important. It may not be, something that MetaZoo is proud of. I'm sure they're very frustrated that this happened, but you guys need to know this because there have been a lot of questions on my Discord about Seance and like caution about buying it because they've heard like, oh, it's weighable, it's this, that. Seance is not weighable. The thing about Seance is it is mappable in the sense that a case of booster boxes, 6 booster boxes in a box. There's a master case, which has, I don't know how many cases, but let's just pin it down to a case of booster boxes, right? You have a box with factory sealed 6 booster boxes inside. Somebody that buys a lot of MetaZoo opens up a case, they open a booster box, and you open one of each pack art that is inside. There are 4 different pack arts inside of a booster box. You open all 4 pack arts of the different pack arts, and whichever ones have a full hollow in that pack art, for the rest of that booster box, that pack art will always have a full hollow in it. So you can get booster boxes where you open up one of each pack art and there are no full hollows inside. That means you have a booster box that has a almost 100% chance, because the mapping can change mid-box, but there is almost a 100% chance that you have a booster box that will have 0 full hollows. You can have a box that has 8, 16, 24, or in the very rare instance of some people opening one that has all full hollows, but I think that is like almost unconfirmed or extremely rare. But then it gets even worse in that even if you get a box that has, say, 16 like 2 of the pack arts have full hollows, so you're going to end up with 16 full hollows in your booster box. They tend to be clumped. Clumped meaning if you open up a really rare card, your booster box has a really good chance of having a bunch of other really rare cards with it. There was actually an instance on Discord where somebody opened a booster box and they pulled like 4 of the rarest card at the time, which was worth like $80 to $100, all from the same booster box. And then if you get a booster box that has undesirable full hollows in it, your entire booster box for full hollows will have nothing but undesirable full hollows in it. If you've watched my seance booster box openings, I have opened 5 booster boxes without getting a single chase full hollow. All of my full hollows have been mostly undesirable full hollows. I got extremely unlucky, and I bought from multiple different sources. So this is important for you to know. If you are buying seance on the secondary market, do not buy loose packs, because those loose packs, unless it's from a trusted seller like a partner store where they are like, hey, I have gone through my booster box and I've picked out these packs, and I can guarantee they're going to be a full hollow, they are probably searched and you're going to get nothing but reverse hollows. Maybe they'll throw in a couple of full hollows in with your purchase to make you feel like you didn't get ripped off, but those full hollow packs are almost certainly going to be from a dud booster box where the full hollows that were inside weren't great to begin with and are worth like 50 cents to $1.50, $2, okay? So how do you avoid this? How do you buy Seance? Because it's an amazing set. I still highly recommend it. How do you get in the Seance and not be scared to buy it or get ripped off? So booster box prices vary greatly because of this, but there are some workarounds, and I'm going to talk to you about this and walk you through it. You can buy a booster box, okay? You can buy it on TCG Player, eBay, but just know that there is a chance that the seller knows what kind of box it's going to be, and you might get ripped off. If it seems like it's the kind of seller that sells a very high volume of booster boxes of MetaZoo, that means they probably buy cases of these booster boxes, and you probably want to avoid buying from sellers like that on eBay, okay? Let's just clarify here, unless it's a trusted partner store on eBay, because they probably have figured out what's inside of there before you even open it. TCG Player, I wouldn't even get close to buying them on TCG Player. If you're noticing it's a seller that only has like 1 or 2 booster boxes and they haven't really sold too much MetaZoo, okay, maybe take the chance. But if it seems like they have like 30 booster boxes, unless it's a huge store that you don't think has the time to open these products up, you know, a trick that I would give you is if it's a store that is selling singles of Seance cards, that means they probably cracked open booster boxes to figure out what's good and what's not from within their cases and their booster boxes. But if it's a store that only sells sealed product from MetaZoo and shows no signs of selling singles, especially from Seance, you might want to take the gamble and try it out. But here's what you can do. You can buy from partner stores that will tell you, hey, you're buying a hot pack. Argos Anonymous is somebody that does this, where he will sell packs, and I'm sure many other partner stores, but just as an example here, you'll pay a little bit more of a premium, but it is a pack that is guaranteed to be a full hollow. They'll randomize the packs, so you won't really know what you're going to be getting from these packs. It might be something really good, it might not be something really good, but it's going to be at least a full hollow. You can also buy alternative product. So when it comes to booster boxes, there are NFT boxes. Now you might be like, oh, NFT, you know, people are already clicking off the video, but it's essentially booster boxes. It's not actual NFTs. It's booster boxes that were sold to NFT holders in MetaZoo. So it's essentially the same exact thing as a booster box, except it has like a little sticker on it that said, hey, you bought this because you're an NFT holder. But those boxes are not mapped. They can't be mapped. And there's been a lot of science out there conducted that opening those boxes, you will pay a bit more for them, like more than double of what a normal booster box goes for typically. But they're going to have complete random cards in there. So you're not going to have the map packing issue. You can buy blister packs. Blister packs are random. You know, you might pull something pretty good from there. They're not, you never know what you're going to get from a blister pack. So blister packs are a great way of opening packs and having no clue what you're going to get. And the release event decks are, you know, there's no mapping going on in there. The theme decks, no mapping in there. And spellbooks, no mapping in there either. So the best way to go about buying Seance, just avoid booster boxes and buy alternative sealed product. It can get a little pricey that way, but that's the cost of, unfortunately, having to deal with Seance, with the factory error, with the unfortunate issue of the booster boxes being able to be mapped. The thing is, though, the cards, when you do pull a hit card in Seance, they're worth a ton of money. So it might, you know, you can pull a single hit card and it will pay for your entire booster box, or more than pay for double or more of whatever the heck other product you are opening up, like a Spellbook or something. Seance is a great set, but you need to proceed with caution, and I think this is very important information, especially if you're brand new, because you might not be following what happened a couple months ago going on with MetaZoo. So there you go. So that is where we kind of stand right now when it comes to the current releases of MetaZoo. We have native upcoming in like a month or two, and it's going to be super exciting. I think they're going to, well, I know they should definitely have the mapping issue worked out for sure this time, and native is going to be an exciting set with tons of amazing new art and cards, and it's going to be a great time to be a fan of getting into MetaZoo right now, because it's not going to be long before more of the world knows what MetaZoo is with the IP coming. But like I said, that's a whole nother video that we can do. And then we have War coming, and that set, we don't know too much about it, but that is going to be a huge, crazy set with a lot of favorite beasties returning, coming back for the first time in a long time, like Mothman. And then we're moving over to Yokai Island. We're going to Japan with yokais and stuff after the Seven Seas set. There's just so much coming from MetaZoo in the future, but for now, this video is mostly just getting you into what we currently have available. I also want to just briefly touch upon the other stuff out there available for MetaZoo, because it's not just those main core sets. We have stuff like HeroQuest 1.0, HeroQuest 2.0, which is a set collaboration between Steve Aoki. If you've watched some of my videos here, you've probably seen me open some HeroQuest. HeroQuest 1.0 can be very expensive. I think it's a very high-end collector's type of thing. You're probably only going to want to get into that if you're mostly collecting, because a single card will run you anywhere between like $15 and $50+ easy. HeroQuest 2.0 is a lot more accessible. Cards are not quite as expensive. The price of singles is coming down a bit on those right now. They're kind of like evening out. Picking up some booster blister packs is pretty doable as of right now. That's a really fun set with some nice alternative artwork in the universe of MetaZoo that I do recommend you at least check out. And then, of course, we have just tons of promotional stuff, tons of collaborations. And this is when it comes down to pick and choose what you're into. You got to be very careful with this, because there's a lot of MetaZoo stuff out there. A lot of the collaborations come with promo cards, promo packs, exclusive stuff. There's a lot out there. And that's why I'd recommend you check out sites like MetaZoo HQ, which will give you a nice rundown of everything that's available out there. And you can kind of look at the back catalog, see what's out there. Some of it's really affordable, some of it's not anymore, because it is kind of rare and limited. And just see what's out there. Pick up some singles. The downside to having some really rare promotional stuff if you're a player is that some of the more rare promo cards that are playable in the metagame can get pretty pricey, because they're so limited and so many players need them for their decks. Like, for example, there is a tournament coming up very soon that emphasizes the use of water cards. So some water cards have skyrocketed in price. But, you know, that's the price that you pay when you get into a trading card game and you're into the competitive scene. And I think it is healthy for trading card games to have chase cards that hold value in the secondary market, because at the end of the day, you know, it's having a collector's market on top of playing, I think, keeps the game healthy. If everything out there was like $1 or $2, man, I mean, it would be great for the players, but then the collectors wouldn't be there to keep the game afloat, right? Like, you need collectability in these cards to have the people that just wail on all the products and keep the cash flow going in the MetaZoo, because players, they'll buy a Spellbook, they'll buy a booster box, and then that's it for them. You know, they're done. Whereas collectors will pump in a ton of money into buying product, and that's why I think there is an importance to having a healthy secondary market. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic entirely. But yeah, the most important thing is, as new product comes out, you want to make sure you're in the Discord or following them on Twitter, MetaZoo, because they will drop products very quickly and they sell out quickly, typically within an hour or two at the most. And you need to pick and choose. There's going to be a ton of stuff coming in 2023. And as long as you're keeping up with them in Discord, at least, you will kind of have a good idea of when this product is coming and what it's going to be. But sometimes they drop some crazy surprises. Me, I've been very selective. I've only been picking up stuff that I really like. Like, I haven't bought anything since HeroQuest 2.0. A lot of the promo cards and the bear, like skateboards, I don't have room for a skateboard. Does it look like I have room for a skateboard here behind me? Not really. So as cool as those are, I just can't do it. They're a little pricey. As amazing as the cards and the skateboards look, I got to just pick and choose, right? Like, I can't buy everything. You guys need to do the same thing. So just be very selective on what you're buying. And one thing to keep in mind, yes, sometimes these promo things that get released can come down in price on the secondary market, cheaper than what they were when they first came out. But a lot of times they do go up in price. But don't have that fear of missing out. Believe me, there's always going to be so much stuff out there coming from MetaZoo. And there's always the future. maybe you can't afford it now, but maybe in the future you pull some crazy card that you can trade or sell for something that you did want that you couldn't afford back when you first saw it. So that's the fun of MetaZoo, though. There's just so much to choose from. It keeps the collecting side of it fun and exciting. There's always going to be something out there that you can kind of look out for your collection, whether it's merchandise, promo cards themselves, or just like fun little spin-offs that you maybe never saw coming. So if you guys made it through the video, please leave a like. Let me know that you like content like this, these longer form kind of like sit down and talk MetaZoo style videos. I've been talking about wanting to do these types of videos for quite a long time now. So if you like the format, be sure to let me know down below. And if you have any other questions, any other videos that you want me to cover, whether it's for MetaZoo or other trading card games, but especially MetaZoo, since my channel is MetaZoo focused, or at least I like to say it is, as of right now. I have the most MetaZoo content on here out of the other stuff that I cover. Leave a question below if you're new or just anything. Like, let me know what you want to know about MetaZoo, and I'll do my best to talk to you guys about it. Anyway, I've got some other stuff that I do want to cover about MetaZoo in the future, such as the online trading card game that is coming, which I'm super excited for, and what that means for MetaZoo. But for now, we're going to end the video here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help the algorithms and help get videos like this out to people that are brand new to MetaZoo, and let them know what the fun is all about, and they can come join the zoo with us. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.